Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary with the Get Some podcast. And my guest this week is...
This motherfucker Gary.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm back after 2 weeks with the Get Some podcast. I leave for 2 weeks and everything goes to shit. Biden resigns, Trump gets shot at. Kamala Harris is now running for president. Hurricane hit Houston. It's been a lot. So let's just, like always, let's start with my schedule. For this Saturday, I'm in Vegas at the Palms, at the Pearl Theater inside the Palms. And then Sunday, the 28th, I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm not in Philly, I'm sorry, Glenside, Pennsylvania at the Keswick Theater. It's outside of Philly, but it's called Glenside, Pennsylvania. And then, let's see, August 2nd, I'm in Pittsburgh with Martin Lawrence. August 3rd, I'm in Cleveland with Martin Lawrence. And then August 8th, I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana with 50 Cent and a cavalcade of comics. And then August 9th, first time ever, Tucson, Arizona. Never been. I'm at the Rialto Theater in Tucson. And then August 10th, I'm back with Martin. We're in Biloxi, Mississippi. And then August 11th, I'm in Jackson, Mississippi. And then August 16th through the 18th, back in the comedy clubs. First time ever at Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club. That's in Tacoma, Washington. And then August 23rd through the 25th, I'm in Hartford, Connecticut at the Funny Bone. And then, September 6th and 7th, I'm in Hawaii at the Blue Note. So we'll go that far. So, I don't know where to start. So much has happened. Like, the reason I took 2 weeks off, one, I took a trip to Greece. Never been to Greece before. I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but let me get into what you guys are really talking about in the country right now. And then before I went to Greece, I come home and a hurricane, the remnants of it hit Houston, and all the power went out in the city. And my house, my neighborhood got it bad. It was out for a week. So, I got the twins, and I probably would have roughed it if I didn't have the twins. But, the babies, the first night, everybody hung in there. And then second day we woke up, they had a nap, and they were just sweating because heat rises. And they were leaking. And I got lucky. I get online, I'm looking for hotels, Hilton.com, everything's sold out. Hyatt, everything's sold out. I go to Marriott. Now, granted, I'm a Marriott like titanium Zeus Jesus status. I'm as high as you can go on the Marriott. I guess it's titanium ambassador elite or something. So I get lucky because I get rates and sometimes I can get rooms. I got a person I can call to help me out find a room. They had one room and all the Houston and surrounding areas, it was at a Fairfield Inn. I said, got it. Booked it. Go over the Fairfield Inn. They had air conditioning. They had power. It felt like a Four Seasons Ritz-Carlton. I've never been so happy to stay at a Fairfield Inn in my life. And it was packed, and there were about 6 people in a room. And it felt like I was in a huge presidential suite. When you're dealing with the heat like that and you can't get comfortable, any room, it just felt so good. I'll just put it like that. Nobody was complaining. Everybody was like, whoo. So we rode it out at the Fairfield Inn for like 3-4 days, and that was it. The twins had a ball. My twins are one. That to them, that was summer camp. They were we had them going. I know people are going to say, yeah, we had them crawling down the hallway with their bare hands and feet, whatever, judge me if you want to, but we had to get them boys out. They was crawling down the hallway. There were people in the parking lot that weren't staying at the hotel. We saw like campers and stuff because what it was, they got I guess they could get a little relief from the heat. So I will say that the staff at the Fairfield Inn there, they were on it. They were professional. They wasn't letting like people abuse the system, so to speak. There was no breakfast. They did have coffee in the morning. The refrigerator was always full of drinks and water, but they were letting people slide. I could tell there were some people, like families, just kind of hanging out to get out of the heat and get on the internet and things like that. So that was cool. It wasn't like a homeless shelter, but there were a lot of people in the lobby. And I remember one time I went to a Lifetime Fitness. I saw there was cars in the parking lot, and this is the day 2 of the power going out in Houston. And I pulled in. I said, I'm just gonna get a smoothie. It looks like the power's on or something. It was so chaotic at that Lifetime because since they have power, people were just pulling in to get out of the heat and to get smoothies, and they had a cafe. It was. I felt like I was Will Smith in Pursuit of Happiness when he was like find a place to live. I go, this is crazy. It was so chaotic, but everybody in my circle was healthy. We got through it, but that's why I wasn't here 2 weeks ago, because I was dealing with that. And the place that I record the podcast, they had no power, and that's a good thing, because if I would have showed up and they would have had power, I might have stayed here. I'd still might be talking on that podcast. That might have been like a 2-week-long podcast. I'd just be talking to talk. I might have did Rosetta Stone and tried to learn a different language and just sat here. So that's why I wasn't here that week. And then I took a trip to Greece, which I'll get into in a minute, which was amazing. I'd never been to Greece. Went with my boys, the Weiner brothers, who I've talked about numerous times. If you ever go to Hawaii, go to the Mai Tai bar. Tell the bartender you know the Weiner brothers, and you'll be taken well. You'll be taking, your drinks will be strong. I'll put it like that. They'll put a couple extra pineapples in the Mai Tais. But that's at the Royal Hawaiian. Trust and believe. That's why I'm so excited to go there in September, the 6th and 7th, to hang with my boys, because they become my travel buddies, man. We going all over the earth, I'll tell you that. So, shoot, I take a couple weeks off. Right off the bat, Trump gets shot. I was like, okay, that came out of left field. And since it's been a couple weeks since it's happened, but now you hear the conspiracy theories. It does make you wonder, when he got shot, it does make you wonder how a 20-year-old kid could outsmart the Secret Service and get that close, however many feet he was away. It does make you wonder, like, so he just winged it? This kid has no military training, has really never left his hometown. He just, you know what? I'm going to climb on this roof with this gun, get a couple shots off. We'll see what happens. It does make you wonder, was the fix in on Trump, or was the Secret Service need to revamp everything? I'm like, I don't know. But, man, that I thought sealed the election. When Trump got hit in the ear, the blood's coming out, and he stopped him and I was like, ooh, when he put his fist up, I first said, is he trying to get the black vote? Was that the black power fist? That's what I thought. I was like, oh, he just got the black vote. He did the black power fist. And then American flags in the background. And I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. This is not just happening. It's going to become one of the, whether you like Trump or not, that picture is now in history. It's iconic just under the circumstances of what's happening. And then Biden drops out. Now Kamala Harris is the Democratic nominee. And I've heard so many different angles on Kamala Harris. Now, here's my thing. As a connoisseur and a lover of black women, I mean, come on now. And the rumor is that she's got that haktua. Like she's got the head game's crazy. That's been the rumors on her for years. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, if you're going to be the president, I like to know my president knows what she's doing in the bedroom. I always heard rumors that Nancy Reagan, I heard her head game was crazy back in the day, back in like the 50s. That was always the rumor on Nancy Reagan. Just like I always heard Milton Berle was hung like a horse. I always heard like he had a 12-inch schlong. And he used to whip it out, I've heard, at just restaurants. That was a rumor on him. So the rumor on Kamala Harris, and that's not a bad thing. We act like people. Here's the thing. When Trump was running and he won, remember he had the whole grabbed her right in the pussy, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's it. He's gonna lose. How could our president can't talk like that?" Look, they're human. That's what I want. I want to know my president is a human that has flaws and is not good at things and are good at things. And then the fact that Kamala Harris, it's like she's good at that. I'm like, if Trump supporters try to take that angle, like, yeah, she slept her way to the top. She only got it where she's at because of that. I go, no. She's smart. She knows what she's doing. But if she's got a little extra edge to get her over the top, baby, you got to use what you got. I ain't mad at you. So, yeah, it's funny when Biden dropped out. They kept saying, this is how you know everybody's just full of shit. All politicians are full of shit. They kept just saying, he's fine. His faculties are all there, and all of a sudden he was just gone. I think he was dead man walking for the last year, and we all know that. And I never wanted the movie Cocoon to be for real in my life. Remember that movie with Wilford Brimley and all the old actors? They had the pool, and the aliens came in, and they had the eggs in the pool. And all the 80-year-olds were jumping in the pool. All of a sudden, they were acting like they were 20, 30. They were breakdancing. They was getting in fights. Their sex drive had amped up and everything. I was like, if ever there was a time for that movie to be real, it's this election when it was Trump and Biden. Where is that pool with the eggs that can let these old men rejuvenate themselves? But now this election's taking on a whole new light. You got a black woman. Head game's crazy. You got Trump, who's quick to, in the past, has had issues with women. He pretty much was a playboy, and now he married a woman a lot younger than him and everything. So it's, yeah, they're gonna bring up everything on how Trump's spoken badly of women, and it's gonna be fun. It's just gonna be fun. My thing is, anytime there's a presidential election, and if your whole livelihood and you think your life is going to be that much better because of who's in office, you're probably not doing that great in life anyways. Because the president has never dictated how I'm going to live my life. Well, you know, I'll tell you what, the last 2 years have probably been my most profitable in stand-up. And not one time have I worried about the recession. I'm focused on jokes, social media, how I can get my jokes out there, and that's all I can control. I'm not going to worry about is the interest rate higher on my house or taxes. I'm going to pay taxes either way. I'm in that tax bracket. I'm paying a lot. So it's just like, I'm just going to focus on me and my stand-up and how I can make money and let the chips fall where they may as far as the economy goes. But if you're out there thinking, you know, oh, my life's over, this is it, because this guy won or this chick won the election. I mean, that says a lot about you. Come on now. It ain't that deep. I mean, it does have an effect in your pocketbook, but it ain't like, oh my. I remember when Barack won the second term. I'll never forget my dad, who I don't talk to anymore, but he literally made a post like, I hope there's still a country in 4 years that my daughters can live in. I'm like, let's relax just a little bit. Okay? I love when people say, if this guy or this person wins the election, I'm moving out. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. The only way you moving out of the country is some Diddy shit happens. Diddy moved out, and not because of who's president. But stop. I mean, it's just a big, it's like, politics now to me is like WWE. It's like real, but it's not real. They're just saying stuff they're just talking to talk. They don't really mean any of it. You know, what happened to the wall? Where's that at? You know what I mean? And they always like, well, under my plan, healthcare will be this. Taxes will be this. We don't know. Just say, hey, I wish the president just go, look, I'm going to try. I ain't going to promise nothing, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try hard. So obviously, it's just got real interesting as far as like just the debates. I can't wait for them. I think that Joe Biden never knew he had a debate, that first one. I don't know what that was. I'll put it like this. If you're a Democrat and you're diehard, you got to feel at least a little better because you knew Biden wasn't winning. You knew that. And it wasn't about winning the election. It was he wasn't going to make it 4 years if he did win. So at least now you got somebody that's going to be alive if they win the election. You got somebody there who's faculties are all there. So I'm looking forward to these debates. I'm just going to enjoy them. Either way, for a comedian, Harris or Trump, it's comedic gold for comedians. And I'm not a political comic. I don't really get into it like that. But you do touch on things. So for me, a black woman becoming president, ooh. For me and my fan base, that it gets no better for me. Even Trump, like, he's so easy. He gives you so many layups as a comedian. Even if you're not a political comedian, he lays it up there. So just the way he talks, his mannerisms, everything else. So I'm excited now. I'm excited. So anyways, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So anyways, my Greece trip. Let me get into that. So I told myself a couple years ago, after I went through the divorce and everything else, I was like, you know what? When I check out, I want to see the earth. Anytime you travel, once the trip's over, you don't miss the money. And I always encourage people, travel as much as you can. I'm not a jewelry guy. I got one car. I'm not a car person like that. So I'd rather spend my money on trips and experiences and memories. So this trip from Greece was a lot, and it was worth every dime that I spent. So we did the whole, flew into Athens, then we went to Mykonos, and then we ended in Santorini. Mykonos is Miami on steroids for 3 months out of the year. So I go to Athens for a couple of days, and Athens was cool, just a big-ass city. I didn't know they had Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. I got a video of that. That was cool. I woke up one morning at like 5 a.m. just to watch because my clock was all out of whack. They're 7 hours ahead of Houston time zone. So if it's noon in Houston, it's 7 p.m. in Greece. And so I got up early one day because my body was out of whack the first morning, and I saw the change on the guard for the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. If you've never seen the one at Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia, go. It's so dope. This was just completely different, but it was still dope. And then they love Giannis, and they got, of course, I got Greek salads and Greek yogurt. That was amazing. But Athens was just cool. I was cool for a couple days. I've been there, done that. Not really excited to ever go back. Now, then I went to Mykonos. Oh, you can't go to Mykonos on a budget. I'll tell you, you're going to spend some loot. So we get there, and I sit down, and we go to this place called Namos is the first place we went in Greece. As soon as we landed, we got to our hotel, this plush-ass hotel. It's called Mykonos Blue. Only drawback, the air conditioning wasn't as strong as I wanted. I like to hang raw meat in my rooms. I like it cold, especially when it's real hot outside. They had it like on some kind of, it only went down to so much. It only went low so much. And I was like, dude, this ain't cold enough for me. I had to get a fan and brought it to my room. So the hotel was beautiful, though. We go to eat at Namos, and we're sitting there, and it's just a party. People are drinking, they're dancing on the tables. You're right on the beach, and then who sits down next to me? Jeffrey Simmons. I'll make sure I get the name right. Let me make sure I get the name right. I don't want to mess up nobody's name. Yeah, Jeffrey Simmons. He's a defensive lineman for the Tennessee Titans. I knew when he sat down he was a big boy. I was like, that's a big dude. And I knew it was getting close to training camp. So I was like, okay, if there's some ball players here, it's probably now. They're probably going on this trip now, and then they got to get to camp. Then we sit down and we start talking. His girl is from Cincinnati, went to Fairfield High School. She went to Tennessee State in college and met in college. So then We start talking, and he's a quiet dude. Nice guy, super nice guy. He's quiet. Let me tell you when he lit up. The guys I was eating with, they was like, yo, you know Gary, he's a huge Bengals fan. He went, yeah, I had 4 sacks against you guys in the playoffs. I was like, ain't this a bitch? Why you got to bring that up? He like lit up a little bit like, yeah, I was on you that game. And then, but he was just a cool dude. Good guy. That was cool. Sat with him. Got to chop it up and everything. And then, shoot, I'm getting my days queued. The first night, so we get there, we eat at Namos, and then we went to this place called Scorpios. And it was mostly techno EDM, but it was so lit in there. And I guess Kevin Hart was there like the week before I was. It was like everyone went. They was like, yeah, Kev was just here. I was like, okay. And I'm always shocked when I get recognized overseas in other countries. So there was like this group of models from London, and I don't know what clothing line they're on, but the girl, of course the black one, the one black model recognized me, and she brings over the white ones, and they're talking to me, and I was like, I'm always shocked when people know me in other countries. Then when I ask, how do they know me, 90% of the time, it's Think Like a Man or it's YouTube is how people know me in other countries. So we go to Scorpions, party all night. We got bottles on top of bottle. I ain't going to tell you what the check was. It was a lot. You know, probably could have got a used Honda. And then we all go back, and then we decide to go out to this other spot that's playing hip-hop. So we go there, and then it's funny. So I went back to the room first, and then my guys had hit me like, we're still going out. I was like, oh. So I got to catch a ride into town. It was about a 2-mile drive from my hotel, but it took 30 minutes because traffic's backed up. And Mykonos goes. Downtown Mykonos, where all the clubs are, it could be 1 in the morning, but it feels like it's noon because they light up all the sidewalks and the restaurants are still open. And it's rare you see like Gucci and Louis Vuitton still open at like 1 in the morning. They going to get their money. I guess they got a 3-month run where they going to get all the income. So we go out. Now we're at this hip-hop spot, and we go. And as soon as I walk in, I see my guys. And this one guy is at the section with them. He's like, yo, oh, shit, Gary Owen. I don't know where he's from. I think Maryland or something. So he starts offering me drinks. He goes, you want something to drink? I think we had 1942, Belvedere, and something else. And I was like, nah, man, I'm good. I was already tipsy from Scorpios, and I was like, I'm going to drink water and just enjoy the music and vibe, right? So the guy, though, I think I was the first entertainer, celebrity he ever saw. So he just kept talking to me. And every time I look over, he's looking at me, pointing at me. Like he knew the words to every song, and he kept pointing at me. And I was like, dude, it was just awkward. But he kept coming over trying to give me drinks. And then I guess since I got there after everybody else, I thought it's not a big spot. It's an outdoor spot. It's almost like you're on the patio of an actual club. And I thought my guys got there wasn't a section, so they said, hey, we'll buy a couple bottles. Can we sit in your section? That's what I assumed happened. And come to find out, they was like, no, he just came over and started hanging out with us, and then he started, like, drinking off our liquor. I said, well, the guy was offering me drinks off liquor that he didn't pay for? Thought that was awkward. But I was just like, all right, he's a cool guy, but man, dude, it was a lot. He was a lot. Like every time he kept like coming over, pounding me. It was just too much. I was like, dude, I'm just trying to vibe. And I hate it when you're at a spot and you got those nights where you're wilding with your boys and you're fucking drinking and everything else. I'd already did that at Scorpios. When I got to the second spot, I was in chill mode. I was enjoying the music. I was sitting there but he kept trying to like, yo, you got to drink, man. He was like a frat guy, kept trying. I was like, dude, leave me alone. And then I come to find out the next day, I'm having breakfast with my guys, and they're telling me, like, we don't know who that dude was. He just showed up. I was like, what? I said, we kept on me liquor. And they was like, dude, I don't know. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Fast forward. The next night, when we were at the hip-hop spot, this cool chick came over from Australia. And then she was like, first I was sitting there and she kept going like this to me. She goes, and I was like, You know what I mean? I thought it was fan. And she came over and she was like, I'm from Australia. I'm like a concierge person here for 3 months. I come to Greece, and I guess she makes a lot of her money, gets a lot of contacts, and she's like that girl that when people with money or entertainers come in, she takes them around all the hot spots. She goes, I told my guys I've been with rappers, singers, athletes, taking them out. She goes, but I love me some Gary Owen. So she invites us to a club the next night. So I was like, yeah, we'll come through. So we go to her spot the next night. It's called Tape. And we get there. Why do I get there? That same dude from the night before is sitting there. And now he's just in the crowd, though. Now we got a section. So he sees me. I make eye contact. I give him the peace sign. You know, I'm not saying the dude was bad. He was doing a lot the night before. We ordered a couple bottles. As soon as they come out with the bottles and the lights and the, you know, and then the DJ, again, DJ, I think he was from Africa. He goes, oh, we got the OG legend, Gary Owen. I was like, oh, shit, they know me in Africa. So as soon as the bottles come, here comes him and his girl. I think they were on their honeymoon. They're in the section again. And I told my guys, I said, this ain't happening again. He ain't about to. I know I'm petty like that, but I don't like it when you take advantage. You come over now you want to drink for free again, and he's sitting there, and I was like, I didn't really want to be around him. I thought, here we go again. I can't just vibe. I got somebody like always looking at me, telling me what I should be doing. And then he just sat there and was looking at the bottles, and we never offered him anything to drink, and he never drank anything, and he just kind of, after about 15 minutes, just kind of faded away. I was like, he came up, gave me a pound. I think he thought I was about to offer him some stuff. I was like, no, not tonight, bro. you got your free drinks last night. So, anyways, Tape was dope. But so day one was, let me make sure I got my timeline straight. Day one was Namos, and then we went to Scorpios. Day two, we started off, we got a yacht. My boys, the Weiner brothers from Hawaii, I told you, they're great guys to go with. They got a yacht. I said, what do I owe? They said, don't worry about it. I was like, I hate feeling like a leech. I hate going on trips feeling like a leech. So then we get the yacht, and they met a couple girls the night before at Scorpios. When I tell you these girls are from France, when they showed up the next day on the yacht, when I saw them the night before, I wasn't really paying attention. When they got on the yacht the second day, I was like, ooh, not what I thought. That was beer goggles times 30. They was not the ones. I'll put it like that. I was like, ooh. Because my one boy was like, man, one girl's being a bitch. We bought her all them drinks, and now she ain't talking to me and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, she doing you a favor. Let me put it like that. She had so much work done to her face, and she looked like she must have been in her 20s or 30s. Her lips were so fat. And then her boobs were sitting way up here. It was like a bad boob job, bad lip job. It was just bad. It was just bad. It didn't look right at all. And I was just like, I want to see a before picture. I want to know what she looked like before all this work got done. But they were just, we go on the yacht, and they're just like not really talking to my boys, being kind of standoffish. And I was like, and then we had the yacht for 4 or 6 hours. We get off. They just got off. Didn't even say thank you. We had a great time. I was like, you guys just invited some. I heard the French can be rude. I've heard that. Never been to France, but I've heard they can be rude. And they did not dispel that rumor. Them chicks were just rude. My boys was like, I had something with me. I was good. I brought something. So I was straight the whole trip. But, yeah, so they didn't even say thank you or nothing. They just dipped. Now my boys are like, they were just rolling their eyes. I was like, dude, they did you a favor. Yeah, that post-nut clarity would have hit you so fast if you knocked that off. You'd have been like, what did I just do? They were disgusting, honestly. So anyways, that was the yacht trip. But the yacht itself, dope. It was a beautiful yacht. And then at one point we pulled in some cove, and these teenage kids was jumping off a cliff. So I went swimming, and I climbed up the cliff and started talking to them, and they helped me up the cliff and stuff. And I was like, I told my guys, I'm cliff jumping. I'm getting older. I ain't got a lot of years left to cliff dive, so I'm gonna do it. So the cliff was about 20 feet up, And I didn't dive. I just jumped in. But anyways, my guys started talking to the kids in the water. We were swimming around. They said, he's a famous American comedian. And they were looking at me. They was like, we don't really know. The one kid got out, went back up to the top of the cliff, holds up the phone, goes, oh, my God, Snoop Dogg follows him. Because my guys told him my Instagram. He goes, Snoop Dogg follows him. So then he sent me the pics and the videos of me jumping off the cliff. He DM'd them to me on Instagram. And then he started just going nuts. Then they started looking up all my credits, and it was just cool. It was cool to have like these 6'7" Greek teenage boys that just didn't know me, and then they was all over it. Then they were, we DM'd a couple times and stuff like that. It was just cool, but they were flipping when they saw the Snoop Dogg follows me. If nothing else I've done in my life, they knew the Snoop Dogg followed me. I was just like, you just never know. So that was a cool experience, just a cliff dive off that. And then did we go out the second night? Second night we went to, day 2, we went to, did we go to a club? I know we went out every night. Dang. That's when you drink too much and party. You can't remember what you did on day 2. So Namos, Scorpios, and then the hip hop club. We went to 3 spots first night. We hit the ground running in Mykonos. Second night, we took the yacht out, and then where did we go? I can't remember. We went back downtown though. We went back down. Ooh, shoot. I can't. Oh, wait a minute. I can't remember. Did we go to Leo's day 2? Did we went day 2? I think. Yeah, we went to. Oh, what am I talking about? We went to Tape. I just told you that. I'm an idiot. I just told you we went to Tape day 2. That's where the guy from Maryland that wanted to leech off of us. Yeah, so we went to Yacht, and then we went to Tape. That was day 2. Day 3, we went to a place called Leo's, and it's like a show. They got all these singers, and it's really a bunch of gay dudes and a bunch of pretty women that dance around and sing songs. And I always heard, I was like, Tulum and Mykonos over the last 5 years have become the place to go. And you wonder why something just becomes the hot spot. And then what I found out was Mykonos used to be a spot where the gay people would go. And that was like a safe place. Like it was all super gay. And when I found that out, I realized, oh, there's still a lot of gay people going here. Because our first day at Namos, before Jeffrey Simmons sat next to us, there was 2 gay dudes sitting to us. So, me and my guys, we're pretty social when we go out. So they end up getting something to eat. We was like, what's that? It was a steak. And they told us what the steak was. They said it was delicious. And then they left their table, and most of the good restaurants sit right on the water or right on the beach. So then they went to they sat on the beach, and they were right there in lawn chairs right next to us. That's when they started rubbing each other with the suntan lotion. The one dude leaned back and the other dude. And I told my guys, I said, well, I don't think they know this ain't the gay spot no more. And then when we went to Leo's, it's like dinner and a show. Those dudes, there's gay and then there's gay. They was G, 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 A, 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 Y, 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 Y. And ain't nothing wrong with it. But here's what's wrong with it. There was one brother, black dude. Oh, my God. He was on fire flaming. He was Flash. He was so hot, flaming gay. Well, because they're always doing these different songs. There's like a Grease. There's like a Dirty Dancing. There's like, they'll sing a Whitney Houston song. They'll sing Queen. They'll just do all these different numbers. And the show was amazing. I'm not even going to get twisted. They keep you thoroughly entertained. But the one brother out of the group, there was like 5 girls and 5 dudes that are always switching outfits, doing different scenes and stuff like that. At one point, I'm not paying attention. And then sometimes they'll come and ask you to dance at the table with them, right? He's sitting there, and he got an outfit on where, like, one ass cheek is out. Why did he walk by, and he breaks that into a dance move, and it's right here? And I turn right here. And, like, half the ass was right here. Like, it was literally had to be within, I don't know, 12 inches, pause, of my face. And I was going, oh, you got to be kidding me. And my guy started laughing. I shouldn't turn my head at that moment. I turned my head, and it's just a half black ass cheek looking at me. And so I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So anyways, that was there. And then as we're sitting there, James Harden walked in with his crew. I guess there was a whole crew from Houston, and Harden was there. And so that was cool. I don't know. I just name dropped. Just felt like name dropping for no reason. So then we go to Leo's the last night, and then we trying to think, what did we do? That was late. Leo's is late. No, it was Leo's and then tape. I don't know what the fuck we did, man. We was all over the place. I don't fucking. No, I'm sorry. We went to Leo's the second night. We did the yacht, Leo's, and then we went to Tape Nation. That's it. Dude, this podcast is so confusing. So let's just recap. Namos, Scorpios, Hip Hop Club first night. Yacht, Leo's, Tape Nation day 2. Third night, we go to this, I don't even know what it's called, man, but it was a restaurant in a cave. And it was so dope. The food, the music, the vibe wasn't very big, but you're right on the water. You're not on the beach. You're literally like, they just built a restaurant into a cave. And then as soon as I get there, I see Steven Adams walk in, the basketball player, the big dude from Australia, New Zealand. He walked in, and his crew was sitting right next to us. They were all from Maryland. They were all surgeons, and I guess they had worked on Steven. He got hurt, and they was part of his medical team that got him better. He just got cool with him. He was there for his birthday, and then he was real cool. So then we end up partying with them at the restaurant, and we're there for like 5 hours. No, listen, you got to have at least 2 hours when you go out to eat in these restaurants too. So we go there, we're partying with him. He's a cool dude. I said, where are you playing next year? He goes, man, I just got sent to Houston. I go, motherfucker, I live in Houston. So then you get all excited, switched info. So probably never talk to him again, but it's cool. And then we end up partying there, and then that's it. We couldn't go anymore. We were done. We tapped out. Didn't go out the last night. But and then here's the thing too about gaslighting. So I got a girl with me, and I take a picture of her, and I posted on my social media, and I was like, Mykonos, I'm gonna miss you, Mykonos. I said the views are amazing, and I take a picture of her in the pool, and she got a little donkey. She got a big donkey. She got that ass. She got that Houston ass. But I took a picture of her, and then I knew it was gonna go places. So a lot of social media sites picked it up, and I didn't tag her. I didn't say nothing. I just made a little joke. And then there's one, some blog site was like, I was gaslighting my ex because I guess I didn't even realize my ex had posted a picture, like in a bikini top or a bra or something. I don't know. And then they said, 2 weeks later, I'm going to make a post to try to top her. I go, that was the last thought in my brain. It's funny how these websites can just make shit up just to stir shit up. I go, I didn't even see the post that she made. I was thinking nothing of it. But they just like to gaslight and start shit. So anyways, I was like, oh, these social media sites, they're funny. You got to love them, you got to hate them. It is what it is. So then we go to Santorini. And the only way to get from Mykonos to Santorini, you either got to fly, you get on a plane, Aegean Airlines, you got to fly to Athens and then fly to Santorini, or you got to take a ferry, which is like a bus, like a Greyhound bus on the water. And I heard it's a clusterfuck. So when we heard that, we were like, screw it. We're just going to get a private. So we got a private yacht for the day. Took our time, swimming. We took us about 5-6 hours to get from Mykonos to Santorini. Here's the thing about Santorini. Santorini is the best place to go if you got a chick with you. If you're looking for a guy's week, don't go there. Everything shuts down early. The views are amazing. The restaurants are amazing. Great spot for a honeymoon. Or just take your girl, but do not go with a bunch of dudes. Go to Mykonos. Go anywhere else. Don't go to Santorini. So we go to this hotel. It's called the Mystique. The Mystique. It sits on top of a hill, but there's no elevators. They build the hotels into the mountain. So these steps are so big, you're out of breath. Anytime we went anywhere, you had to be ready. The first night we went out to eat, the best restaurant of all the restaurants we ate was in Santorini. It's called Basalt. Basalt. If you ever go to Santorini, Go to Basalt. Sits right on the water. Beautiful. It's like you're in a fucking movie. It's literally like an Instagram post you're in. No filter, but I mean, I'm talking, you're around the water. It's calm. The fish is so goddamn good. Like, it's the freshest fish I ever ate in my life. It's like they got out of the water and made it. And they bring it over and they fillet it right in front of you and shit. I never ate so much bread in my life. I'm gluten-free. I'm not gluten-free in Europe. I go in. So I had, anything you put in front of me, I was eating. But most of it was good. Like, just the fish and the vegetables and the bread. I ate so much freaking bread. Oh, like right now, I'm a 24-hour fast. I'm not eating today. I just woke up tomorrow. I said, I need to give my stomach a break. So I'm not eating anything today. Just water. Had a cup of coffee and water all day. And I'll get back to eating tomorrow. Because tomorrow's my birthday, by the way. So this is a birthday episode for me. So, but we're in Santorini. The cool thing is, one day we went into town. And we were walking around. And I got stopped different times of the trip, Mykonos and Athens and stuff. Usually it was American people or London. I did get stopped by an Italian couple. I'm always shocked when I get stopped by people outside the country. And I always ask them, how do you know me? Because I'm curious. And like I said, it's Think Like a Man or it's YouTube. So we're in Santorini. We're walking around. And I see this group, like 4 or 5 black ladies walk by. And they was like, is that Gary Owen? And they came back. They go, Gary Owen, what are you doing? I go, sweat my ass off, just like you. And everybody was real cool. Everybody was real friendly. All of a sudden, this young guy comes in. He goes, hey, Gary Owen, can I get a picture? I said, yeah, it's a Greek kid. When I say kid, I mean probably in his early 20s. And I said, that's why I asked him. I said, how you know me? He goes, YouTube. And I was like, where are you from? Greece? I was like, born and raised? He goes, yeah, Santorini. I was like, no way. I get that makes me more excited when I get just some 20 guy in his 20s, young guy. He could have been a teenager from Greece. Not only had seen me, but see me enough to know my name and recognize me and somewhere on the other side of earth. It's just mind-boggling to me. And that's why I would say any comedian out there, man, post as much as you can on social media. Make sure it's good quality stuff. But whether you're doing a podcast, stand-up, sketches, keep posting, man. YouTube's worldwide. I didn't turn on TV in Mykonos, but when I did, the only thing you could do other than watch local channels was YouTube. You couldn't log on to Netflix or Amazon Prime or nothing, but you could log on to YouTube and watch anything on YouTube. So I was like, yeah, I get so excited. I wonder, I've never gone overseas to perform, but I always wonder, like, well, I have. I've been to London, but I did a small theater. Guam, did a small theater. Belize, but I'm talking about like a whole European run. That's the only thing I haven't, not only, but it's one of the things like in my career I really want to do. I would love to know I could sell tickets overseas and do a nice little theater run of 2,000 seaters would be dope. Because I see my guys like Joe Coy and Russell Peters and obviously Kevin and more recently Andrew Schultz, Matt Rife. I see guys like that that I've seen throughout their careers. One selling tickets, nobody knew who they were, and now they're doing these worldwide, Bill Burr, these worldwide tours overseas, and it's just like, it's so dope, so inspiring, and just cool to see. So if I could do one thing, like that would be the next thing for me to cross over and to go overseas and do shows. And then you're always curious how your material translates over there, and the fact that I could be a guy from small town Ohio and could tell a joke that some young guy in Greece not only watched, but resonated enough that he stopped me and got a picture with me out of left field. I was like, that to me, that's the coolest. I expect to get stopped in the States and stuff, but when I'm overseas, I'm like, does it get any better? It's just awesome. Just awesome. So I completely recommend going to Greece. If you're ever going to go, never been to Athens, go to say you experienced it. If you want to go party, go to Mykonos. But end in Santorini. You need the time to recover. Don't go to Santorini, then Mykonos. I would do it the other way. Take a breath. And if you want to take a chick, take her to Santorini and just chill. I'm telling you, the vibe, the food, the hotel, panty dropper. The panties are coming off quick. I'll put it like that. So yeah, that was an amazing trip. So everything, look, the power's back on in Houston. Everything's good. This city's amazing. I had my all white party right before I left, the night before I left for Greece. So that was dope. Shouts out to Steve Rogers who put that together with CGE Entertainment, Joey Cook and all them. And then, like I said, this weekend I'm in Vegas at the Palms Theater. I mean the Palms Casino Pearl Theater inside the Palms. So I'm looking forward to that. Tickets are flying, so we should sell it out. And shout out to the Weiner brothers for taking me on not taking me, but for us putting this trip together. And the last day in Santorini, we had gotten 2 yachts, right? Last day we wanted to get a boat to just run around for the day, right? Go to different spots, and all the boats were sold out. All of a sudden that morning we wake up the last day, they said a boat came available, and it was a freaking sailboat, and it was some chick. She's like in her late 30s. She had some 21-year-old boat hand with her, and it was like, I don't want to say it was a piece of shit. It wasn't what we were used to, and she was out of a movie. So we said, she goes, I'm the only female boat captain in Santorini. I'm famous here. Because my guys would always be like, he's an American comedian. You got to look him up. One thing I'll say about the Weiner brothers, they going to pump me. They great publicists on the road. You got to go see him. Look him up. Follow him. So she said, I'm famous out here in the water. And the Weiners took that and was like, why are you famous? She goes, I'm the only captain. She takes us around, and the Weiners, they got a couple glasses of wine in them. They start talking. They go, you slept with you've been sleeping around with all the other boat captains? She goes, no, only once. She goes, Jack Sparrow. I slept with Jack Sparrow. And then she said, yeah, there was one captain. Middle of the night, I jumped off my boat, and I swam to his boat. And I woke him up in the middle of the night, and he was like, you swam here? And she goes, yes. And then the Weiner's like, well, what'd you do? She goes, I can't talk about that. It's like, oh, she got him good. She fucked him. She fucked him on the boat. Then she took us to some island. She goes, this is the Boom Boom Island. And I was like, what? She goes, yeah, this is where they go boom boom. She was out of a freaking movie. So we got on this boat, and we were like, the first half hour, we was like, what we get ourselves into? Because honestly, we're bougie, and we're used to nice stuff. So this is not what we were used to. Like I said, we've been on 2 beautiful yachts, and now we're on this sailboat. But she made it so much fun. She got in the water with us at one point. I go, okay, what if the boat swims away? She took us to all these spots. She's jumping in the water with us. And the whole time she's smoking cigarettes. Nonstop. I'm like this. Yo, it's blowing right in my face. It's like, you're trying to get the ocean breeze, and then you're getting secondhand smoke. You're like, can't say nothing. That's her culture. We ended up just laughing about it. We just made the best time of it. So, yeah, she was cool. That was a cool last day. Got to meet the only female boat captain in Santorini. So, yeah, so that was most of this show was about Greece. Wonderful time. So I went to Italy with the Weiner brothers. Now I went to Greece with them. So next, I think we're gonna go to Spain next year. That seems to be the plan. So, but I'll see him in Hawaii, and I'll see him in Vegas this weekend. So, anyways, yeah. So, anyways, this is Gary Owen, and it's good to be back. And I'll see you guys next week. This is Get Some Podcast.